So what do you get when you combine 90s era X-Men and the obscure DC comic book, The Immortal Men, and Invincible? Well, you get this book, Terminal, the new superhero epic. By Robert Kirkman, co-written by Joe Casey, and with a rotating artist, it's including Andy Kubert, David Finch, and Arthur Adams, and with colorings, inks by Dave McCaig, however you pronounce that. And yeah, this wasn't a book I was planning on cover, but I've been wanting to actually get into it. But I decided to check this book out on a whim, and yeah, once I fully read it, I'm fully on board with Terminal all the way. Hey, because I mentioned the Immortal Men earlier, I've always been interested in the story concept of a secret society of superhumans battling just outside the view of the normal world. I thought Immortal Men was going to go that way, but then it got canceled at issue 6. Probably didn't also help that it kept getting delayed because Jim Lee was the artist. But yeah, Terminal seems like it's taking that concept and it's going to... And since this is a Kirkman-led project, it's probably going to be here for a long time. So yeah, let's get to it. So yeah, as I said, this is basically a story about a secret superhuman war. And it's a very brutal one. Again, this is from Robert Kirkman. He's the guy who made The Walking Dead and Invincible. Also, yeah, he does not hold anything back. With some of the early pages, including our introduction into Imp, who I think is going to be one of my favorite characters of this book. He's just a violent little shit. And with some really cool powers and a really awful attitude. But yeah, as you can see, this comic is going to be gory as hell. However, let's lead it up into the POV character, Marilyn Howie, who's basically trying to uncover the disappearance of her sister, Alessandra. And when she ends up finding information about it, thanks to one of her friends, Imp shows up and kills him, and while making stupid jokes. So yeah, but as it turns out, Marilyn ends up getting saved by Allie, who now has super strength and goes by the name of Crusher. And yeah, that's actually the premise of this book, is that there's two secret groups of superhumans. Two are called the Activators, who are characters that all have code names that end in ER, or as you can see from the opening page. And the Awoken, who all have names that are based on mythological creatures. So yeah, and I'll say this: the art by Adam Kubert. I'll admit, out of the 3 writers attached to this book, I'm not the biggest fan of Andy Kubert's art, but I can't see why it's there. It's very recognizable. It's very quick to the point. And again, it really fits the tone of this comic, which is basically, like I said, it's a superhero war. It's a superhuman war taking place in the dark. And yeah, Allie basically takes Marilyn to this island, and where the Activators have as their HQ, where they honor one of their fallen, and who was Blaster, the guy we saw Imp disembowel at the start of the issue. And we meet who's the leader of the Activators. Theed. And I'm guessing Theed is the guy we see at the beginning of the issue. Who basically because he's got the same eye scar. And as for what happened to the other eye, which ballooned out, I'm guessing it became this thing, Makulox, who is some weird cosmic being talking about celestial importance, systems, cosmic fire, or all that. That's pretty hard to grasp for both the readers and Marilyn right now, so at least we fit her. Basically, the gist is that Makulox basically has visited Earth previous times, and has activated superpowers within people, and they're supposed to help guide mankind, but obviously the Awoken are kind of getting in the way of that. And Marilyn and is told that she basically has the power to have superpowers awaken within her, basically have similar powers to Crusher. And yeah, the characterization of this issue is a bit bare bones at the beginning, except for Marilyn, because yeah, her journal is shown all throughout this comic in the narration, and yeah, you do get the sense that she just wants to be with her sister again, just wants to be close because yeah, they basically had no one but themselves. Alessandra basically raised her. But this leads to one of the more tragic parts of this comic when she attempts to get her powers awoken, and by Maculox, yeah, our POV character ends up as Goop. Oops, so yeah, that's not really... So yeah, that's kind of the big tragic gut punch of this issue, which you should expect from a Kirkman-led comic. And yeah, Alessandra mourns, and the issue ends with with this narration, and by a third player in this secret superhero war, Alessandra Howell, aka Crusher, completely oblivious to how many people held that title before her and how they died. She's feeling it now. That feeling of losing someone so close to you in the name of a cause you committed to so intensely. She started to question everything, wondering how she could have been so blind to all the deception baked into the life she has chosen. She wants to know why. I know exactly how she feels. Are you going to make contact, sir? Tyler? No, not yet. She's not quite ready, but she's close. And she'll learn, and very soon, that each and every one of them is living on borrowed time. When you agree to do Maculox's bidding, you're terminal. So yeah, I'll say this. Issue 1 definitely has my attention. And I am really psyched to see where this comic is going. And it's a big introduction letter from Kirkman at the end of the issue says, this is basically one of the biggest projects he's done, where, again, like Invincible, it's an entire universe all contained in one comic. So, and yeah, I was like barely 10 years old when the 90s era of the X-Men, when they were at their peak stopped. I was way too young to read Invincible when it was coming out, but I'm fully on board to see where Terminal goes from here on out. This is apparently going to be a long haul series, so yeah, you can expect me to keep covering this series. And of the 2 Joe Casey comics I'm reading, I think I'm going to keep doing Terminal. As you guys probably saw, not the biggest fan of Ben 10 in terms of art and stuff, and the story of that comic's good, but it's also the story of the original cartoons, so yeah. I'll say this, the characterization is a bit thin for the first issue, but then again, this is the introduction issue. I'm sure we're going to get more characterization and in depth from everyone as the series goes out. And again, I especially want to see more Imp, because Imp just seems like a fun, love to hate kind of guy. As for issue 1, I am giving this a 4 out of 5. If you guys liked the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, so you always know when I review the next issue. Until next time, have a great day.